Hello, I'd like to invite you to the next tree meditation. This is the fourth one, and this is Council of Self. Now, this concept may or may not be new to you, but it's about seeking your own counsel, checking in with yourself, connecting in to yourself and all of the parts of yourself on a very deep level, and it helps you to work through things. It helps you to birth and create new things. It helps you figure out what you're here for. It helps you heal yourself. It's really interesting. And so the trees and I would like you to invite you to come on this next journey. So once again, we're going to go to Grandmother Tree. Start breathing, making sure you've created for your space for yourself and time, and set everything else aside and be here in this present moment for yourself. And so I'm going to invite you to start seeing the path that goes to Grandmother Tree, the World Tree. Feel your feet on the path. See what's around you, the beauty of the forest. Start to see Grandmother coming up. Such a beautiful old tree. So wise. And this is an invitation from her. So kneel. Pull out some offering. Pause for a minute. And feel gratitude for being here in this moment with her, with yourself. Curious about what's coming up. And excited for the journey. So I invite you in your mind's eye to start walking around the tree to your altar, that space that is just yours. Notice what is or isn't on the cloth. And know that this is a symbolic place, an altar between you and the Creator, the universe, the God, the Goddess, whatever words you want to put on that. Everybody likes to use different words when they're talking about divinity and spiritual things. And so this is going to be one where you really need to think about the words I'm using and figure out the word for you. Because your council of self is very unique. It's personal. It's just yours. And so it will be different from everybody else's. And it really depends on what your medicine is, what you're here to do, your soul contracts, all that stuff, all of it. And know that this is going to be really juicy. We're going to get really in here. See your higher self approaching you. Take her hand. I know you're going to go someplace very specific. inside the landscape of your mind, if you don't already have a space like this, please create a space like this. This is an amazing space. So in this space, absolutely nothing bad can happen to you. It is probably one of the few places where you are 100% safe all of the time. Nothing can get into it. Nothing can hurt you here. And so you are safe. A lot of people view it as a garden with very extensions on it, or a piece of property. But know that there's very good boundaries around it. And I want you to stick your hand against the gate, the door, whatever you want it to be, and it will glow, and then it will open. There is nothing more unique and personal than your fingerprints and your hand. You are unique and beautiful. Step through the gate. Take a deep breath. Feel it jump behind you. And see that there's a fire, a beautiful bonfire just a little ways in. Start making your way to the bonfire. And now we're going to start calling in the parts of yourself. So with these other meditations that we've already done, you've already been introduced to parts, and so we'll start with calling them in. So in the second one, you met yourself, your higher self. So that's your eternal self, whatever name you want to put on it, is standing beside you, your current self in this present, what you are in this lifetime. And you're going to see yourself at the different ages. So there's going to be a baby, a toddler, a teen, someone in their 20s, etc., etc. And then you start to notice that there are people holding space around this fire for you. So there's going to be somebody there representing your ancestors. There may be more than one. It looks different for everyone. Really see that ancestor. Look into their eyes. Feel the wisdom they have to share. Feel the collective conscious and understanding that they have. All those years of survival and thriving and living and celebrating and worshiping. All of it. Standing right there. And feel the ancestor lean forward and blow into your forehead. Wisdom and sight for this journey. Next, you're going to see your spirit helpers, your guides, animals that you work with, maybe even a power animal. Call them in. Come, 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 come. Aye, aye, aye. Feel them holding space for you. They are excited and joyous. This is rich and juicy and beautiful. going to start with the parts that everybody has, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. But everyone has a mother, whether it's an auntie or a mom, but it's that mothering part of yourself, or fathering if you're a man. And feel the mothering that you've done for other people in your life. Feel all that love, the compassion, the constant service, the wisdom, the nurturing. Look into your mother's eyes. Look into your eyes. See her. And have her blow in your forehead. Her connection to you. And beside your mother is your grandmother, the crone aspect to yourself, that old, wise elder. Could be an elder, the elder part of you. Use what word works for you, what resonates for you. See the wrinkles and the smile lines. See what you look like. With a face full of wisdom and love, compassion. And have her kiss your forehead. The connection. And then one more step to your right around the circle, around the fire. And now you're going to see your sleep self, your twin dreamer, that part of you that sleeps during the night and does dream work. And know that you can work with this aspect of yourself or not. And you can work with your aspect of your mother or not. It's completely up to you. This is a connection. This is a hub. It's an invitation. If you feel like you didn't get your needs met as a child, as a baby, as a toddler, as a teen, walk over and pick that child or that baby up. Take it to your mother. Take it to your grandmother. The you mother. Feel your love for yourself. Feel the wisdom and the compassion. This is an opportunity. There's much richness and juiciness. The next step to your right is going to be your warrior, the one who bears the burden of peace, your fighter, your activist, for yourself and for others. Find what word works for you, but know that everyone has this part of themselves. Everyone can defend themselves. Everyone can stand up for themselves. Everyone can feel safe, knowing that they've got their own back. And this is really what this is about, having your own back, be supporting of yourself on a very deep level. Acknowledge that warrior. See them. See what they look like. Everyone's is going to look really different. Really depends on who you are and where you've come from, and what you need to do while you're here. And beside that's going to be your storyteller. This is you that makes the meaning of your life. This is you that weaves the understanding and the interpretations. This is a really important part of yourself. You can rewrite parts. You can manifest things. And nod. And step once more to the right. And there is the lover in you. That part of you, that relationship love. That soul that longs to commune with another soul. And look into your eyes. And get a hug. And step one more to the right. Now you're going to see the silent observer. This is a very crucial part of yourself. This is the part of yourself that you go to as a resource. You can go back in time and see events as they unfolded from other people's perspectives. Sometimes we have wounds in our child heart because through our child's eyes we only understood a portion of what was happening. But if we went back, we would see it was a misunderstanding. And of course this isn't true for everything, but it's surprising how many things it is true for. You can see from other people's perspectives. You can step back and see the whole picture. And this part of yourself works really strongly with your storyteller, and really strongly with all of the bits and pieces of yourself. It's the part of you that's always holding space. Wherever you go, you're holding space for yourself. Now, if somebody didn't show up for parts of that, that's fine. Make a note. And then you can do some work to find out where that part of yourself is. Invite that part of yourself to come and be part of your council. So I'm just going to give you a few suggestions. Caroline Myss has archetype cards, which can be really good for thought-provoking, for trying to think about what parts of yourself. And you need to invite all the parts too, like your victim, if you have one. You know, not just the good, powerful parts, but the parts that need healing too. Alright. So you might have an inner artist, somebody that likes to create, a craftsperson, poet, a clown, an alchemist, a prophet, sage, or seer, a Samaritan, a scholar, a teacher, a student, a trickster. I invite you to really sit and think about who is around your fire and who isn't. Now I invite you to use this space as a healing space. And I invite you to get really creative with it and set this space up in a way that really serves you. So I can give you a few examples of things that I've done or heard of other people. And then I invite you to do some stuff for exploring and thinking about what you want here. And if you've already got a place like this or other parts to it, feel free to combine things and make it work for your belief system and your structure. So for example, I really struggle in the winter sometimes with the lack of light. So I have my favorite pothole, and my spirit guide really likes spending time there. So often, if I need the warmth and the peace of that swimming hole, I go there. If I need to seek the counsel of my power animal, I'll go there. You could have a house. Some people that have moved around a lot, or that have feelings around belonging. You can create your own house inside of yourself that you take everywhere. So you can have a garden, the different rooms set up the way you would like them to be, different parts of yourself hanging out in there when they're not around the fire. Really get creative with it. Create some nice spaces. You could have a labyrinth, or an area that there's like a waterfall that showers down light that you could go to clean yourself spiritually, refresh yourself. You could have an annex where you invite the presence or the thought of somebody else, and you can practice having challenging conversations in a positive and assertive way, knowing that they can't get into your space. This is an annex. You could have Akashic Records connections here. Or you could have anything you want to. You could have hot springs here. I do. Because I love going in there. If I've had a stressful day, just going in to my inner space and getting into the warm waters, seeing all the beautiful steam coming off in the forest around. And I find it really soothing and really peaceful and really healing. And parts of myself can come and sit and visit with me. And if I need to talk to my healer, I can. If I need to talk to my fighter or my warrior, I can. My higher self, all of me is in here. All of the parts of me dwell in here. This is a good space to do shadow work from. So know that you've had this invitation and this beautiful place. Know that that fire is there inside of you all of the time. Know that if you need to come here on a nightly basis, to do some dream work, to do some healing, whatever it is that you want to do, this space is here for you. And you always know where to get here. So nod to the space. Thank it. Step out, close the door. Walk back to Grandmother Tree. Walk back around. Sit down and kneel in front of her. And look up at her. She's so pleased that she got to share this space with you. There's just love without words. So much love. Such an outpouring of love that just fills your whole being. You know that you are unique, and you are beautiful, and you are needed. Right now, just as you are. There's things that only that you can do. And just soak in the love. Soak in the peace. And get up slowly. Knowing that you can come back here whenever you would like. And walk back down the path to yourself. With an inner knowing that you know where to go when you need decisions. You will know where to go when you need healing. Where you need inspiration. When you need refilling. And this is with you always. Thank you for joining me.